The Wooden Bowl. Once upon a time, in a small town in Germany, there lived an old man called Kurt. He lived with his son Manfred and his daughter-in-law Thekla. They all shared a little old house at the end of a quiet street in the middle of the town. Manfred was a carpenter and spent all his time in the workshop. He had learnt carpentry from his father, who had been a famous carpenter in his day. The old man had taught his son well, and the son had a good living. He made furniture for the people of the town, and from time to time he did some carving. The young couple, Manfred and Thekla, had a son called Wilhelm. The boy liked to sit in the workshop and watch his father. As he grew older, he helped his father by fetching and carrying things. He learned to clean the tools and take care of them. He learned how to use a saw, a hammer, and a chisel. His grandfather taught him to curve wood into wonderful shapes. Now the old grandfather was very old and getting older every day. His eyes were dim and he could not see well. Sometimes his hands shook and sometimes he sat in a chair and nodded off to sleep. Kurt was slow and clumsy. Sometimes he broke a glass, sometimes dropped a spoon and spilled soup on his shirt and trousers. One day during the evening meal, the old man dropped his plate on the floor. Crash! It smashed into 100 tiny pieces. And the food fell all over the place. Thekla and Manfred began to clean up the floor. But how angry they were! After that accident, they bought him a cheap wooden bowl and gave him his dinner in that. They made the old man sit by himself in the corner of the room to eat his food. The old man was sad and did not complain. One evening, when the meal was ready, Thekla called for Wilhelm. But he was nowhere to be found. Then they saw a light on in the workshop. They went to look. They stepped into the workshop and found their son sitting on a stool. He was cutting a small block of wood and working as hard as he could. "Ah, there you are," said Thekla. "What are you making, son?" asked Manfred. Wilhelm put down the block of wood and chisel. He looked up at his parents. "I am making a wooden bowl for you to eat from when you are old," replied the boy. The parents looked at each other, their eyes filled with tears. Thekla asked Wilhelm to return for dinner. She put her arms round her son and the three of them went back home. After this, Thekla and Manfred always asked the old grandfather to sit with them at the table. Thank you.